Yo, what is up folks, TrevorTG here with a really sweet one. We are playing Aetherflux Reservoir Storm. We've got our 0 mana artifacts, we have our Paradoxical Outcomes. We're going to try and make 50 life and then use that to deal 50 damage to our opponent. But the new card that we're testing out here, which I haven't actually posted with a video yet, which is surprising, is Beseech the Mirror. Super powerful tutor card. We have a bunch of 0 mana artifacts that we can bargain away to enable that. Search for a card, and then if it costs mana value 4 or less, we can just cast it for free. Either cast the reservoir and use Beseech to find the reservoir, or use it to grab Paradoxical Outcome, pick up all these cards, draw a bunch of cards, and get to kind of go off like you've got the reservoir already. Super awesome. So this is a bit of a new take on the deck. We're trying out a couple of other new cards here as well. We have War of Invention, which helps you find the reservoir, or potentially, hey, we've got a one of Tormod's Crypt here as well. We can just tutor 4 against Greasefang, which is kind of a, hey, surprise, got him moment. Deadly Dispute is the new one we're also trying, seeing as we're playing black for Beseech anyway. Lets you turn one of these into a couple of cards, and also, hey, you get treasure as well, which can actually accelerate you. Pretty nice. Whether that's like an extra copy of Mox Amber, another one of these you can recast. We also have Emery, so anything we sacrifice can be cast again from the graveyard. Emery plays an important role here. Obviously enables Mox Amber. We've got all the 0 mana artifacts, which let you play it for as early as turn 1, to be fair, and then you can immediately start generating value with it, casting these from the graveyard. Ideally, you want to build up a mass of 0 mana artifacts in play to either return the Paradoxical Outcome, or build them up in hand to then go, hey, I'm gonna tutor for Reservoir, and then kind of go off, play a bunch of 0 mana artifacts, pick them back up, put them down with a bunch of other cards to pay 50 to deal 50 to your opponent. That's the combo. The actual 0 mana artifacts we're playing: 4 copies of Mox Amber. Okay, nice. We have Emery to enable it. 4 copies occasionally end up with a dead one. Deadly Dispute lets you cash that in for some cards. It's pretty nice. We then have Ornithopter. Plays an important role because sometimes you just need a bit of a speed bump versus aggro, so you play it out to block. But then also we have a Quarter Shield, which can... It's a 0 mana artifact, but it also can, in theory, suit up either the Ornithopter or the Emery to turn it into a bit of a wall. But hey, largely just a 0 mana artifact. And then we have the one Tormod's Crypt to make 13 0 mana artifacts for us to pick up and put down with Outcome. We then also have some 1 mana ones. So Witching Well here, ETB Scry 2 lets you kind of find your combo pieces. You can then later on in the game, if you get to 4 mana, sacrifice it to draw 2 cards. And then we also have Moonsnare Prototype, which also serves as another mana source. Blue, tap an untapped artifact or creature you control to add colorless. And then it also has a channel ability, which lets you kind of interact with your opponent's stuff, but it is very expensive and does rarely come up. But hey, between Prototype and Mox Amber, we can accelerate quite nicely, especially with Emery. Deadly Dispute to kind of cash in, draw some extra cards, and find our combo pieces. And then, hey, we're going to Beseech for Reservoir or Worth for Reservoir, and then kind of go off with Paradoxical Outcome. And again, we can... The nice thing here is that Beseech tutors for kind of either, quote-unquote, half of the combo. Awesome. So, new take on the deck. The mana base is very straightforward. We have 18 lands because we have the 4 Mox Ambers and the Moonsnare Prototypes as extra mana sources. 4 each of Watery Grave, Underground River, Darkslick Shores, and Clearwater Pathway. Just no messing around. 1 Swamp and then 1 Ottawara, which gives you another like small piece of interaction for your opponent's stuff. We're going to go ahead and take this into the best of 1 ranked games. If you're not already, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. It's free, it supports me, and we're going to hop into some games. Into our first ranked match here with Beseech. There's a couple of different Beseech decks that I was like kind of looking at. I thought about trying some egg stuff. That's not quite enough support. I do have like a Scape Shift list, but we don't have Herbal and Arena. Try that out. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. We've got Where to Find, Reservoir. We've got like an Emery start. I'm trying to think if I want to take it on turn 1 here. I think we kind of might as well because we have the Were as well. Go ahead and do this. I will, in fact, just play out on hand. Play Emery, see what we hit off of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reservoir and a Graveyard's an interesting one, and then we can also play out the Prototype here. Yeah, we've already dumped our hand into play. We can Worth a 1. Use the Watery Grave. Oh, we can actually just cast this. That is wild. What if we just like made turn 2 Reservoir? Isn't that? That's nuts. Okay, sure. Well, we don't have Outcome or Were, which would kind of eventually make this hand hit. Oh, they're playing Bard class. Yeah, I should have really realized from Crackdown Pathway. It could have been Ooh. So we don't have... probably worth a cards. Think about it. We don't have a great way here. What if he had turn 3 Reservoir and didn't have anything to do with it? We can get second Reservoir, which I think is not terrible, but at the same time, yeah, it's the best bet. We want to find. We have effectively 8 cards that we're looking for. We're looking for Paradoxical Outcome, or Beseech the Multiverse. Domri's going to increase their clock, but at least it's not another creature. If they have a creature they can play off the mana here, that'd be a really rough spot. What is this response? Emery's fine. This is okay. We're going to end up losing this life, I think. But I don't want to give them any opportunity. 12. In danger next turn, should we say? Let me do this for 4. We've got 2 options, right? Our 2 options are we call for something that costs like 0 mana. Unfortunately, we can't. Maybe we play something to. So we have 2 options. We get the second Reservoir, which like lets us like really storm off a life. It's just like, hey, we're gaining 2 life, 4 life, etc. Or we grab a 0 mana artifact, or we grab like a Witching Well, try and scry for looking for. The downside at the minute is that with the Reservoir, I think that if we draw Outcome, not getting that much off of it. Getting a few cards, just to get a bit lucky. We wouldn't need to get too high up. I feel it feels wrong to not just get Reservoir here. Ooh, yeah, that's bad. We are at the mercy of our top decks here. This is kind of the reason why we're playing 18 lands. But hey, we're just not hit a good way. We haven't hit one of our Scry effects, we haven't hit the Deadly Disputes, we haven't hit Beseech, we haven't hit what should we call it? Paradoxical Outcome, the actual card we're looking for. So hey. Alright, it looks like we're gonna get a turn anyway, because I don't have the mana generation. So this Mox Angler could be huge. No, it doesn't give them red mana, it gives them. They have the ruby though. This Red Green deck, the Bar Class deck, has gotten a lot better with wilds. Ruby, there's another legend, I think, another couple of cards. You can really kind of storm off. Even Questing Druid, I think. They have access to 3 mana here. They can play the front half with Burgery. They've already used the Mox Amber. Okay, cool. We're at 8. Not what we're looking for, unfortunately. Just gain us a couple of life. And in theory, it doesn't actually block because of Domri. It's on 2. If they have to sacrifice it, they have 1 card in hand and they'll obviously draw 1. I think we may as well play our land because this should have been on black side. Alright. Well, we'll see what's up. They can fight down the Emery and we just out on board. Oh well. Effectively. This doesn't get haste, right? You can just dig for what they need. Heated Pipe's an interesting one. What this does with the horn is just lets you kind of like just keep discarding cards. Eventually you hit something you actually like, hey, okay, I'll bring something back. They just need to find like a damage though. So bear in mind that these powers will drop without the Domri in play if they do decide to fight. With activation here as well. So, lock here on the attack currently. We have, yeah, 1 more draw step to find Beseech or Beseech or Paradoxical Outcome. If we find it, we get 1, 2, 1 mana return, 1, 2. Might be a spot where we're having to return a Reservoir as well. This is haste, I think. Oh yeah, that buffs the team. Well, alright. That shows you the potential power, but we kind of saw the other half of the deck where we like, alright, cool, we've got a turn 2 Reservoir, which is like maybe the best possible start on the deck, but just didn't hit the other piece. So hey, alright, next game. Alright, well that was a bit of a rough one. We had the super early start with a turn 2 Reservoir, which is, I guess, the nuts, and just didn't hit our other pieces. Here we have Paradoxical Outcome and 2 copies of Beseech. We will go ahead and keep this. It feels like we do want a way to worth a cards, but not a great one around at the format. Got a Witching Well here. We want like third land and that kind of stuff. We don't need either of these. There's actually more copies of the same. Fine. Carry on. You can play like you can have like a Reckoner Backmaster in the deck, but it's like so slow in general that outside of like, hey, I think I mentioned, but if we maybe got a Witching Well. Things we drew like Runnerella lands after that. If we know that was going to happen, we maybe would have got a Witching Well. Oh, I don't know what to make of this. This is interesting. Given this, I maybe want to play Ornithopter out. Depends. Like more inclined to. I think I have some weird counter spells. Let's see what they play. It could just be Mill. It is just Mill. These are kind of fine things to hit. There are some, of course, bad things. It means we want to get our Reservoir in play fast. It looks like mono blue, so unlikely to have creature interaction. I feel pretty good about just slamming this Emery. I'm not going to have anything else to do here. We've not got a Mox in our graveyard. There's Tormod's Crypt. Ornithopter. Alright, I want to hit a land. Build up the number of artifacts we have in play with Emery. Oh. That exiles cards from our library, that's not good. That's one Reservoir gone. Oh, I don't like the sound of that. Okay. If that happens again, I guess we just lose. Kinda cool. I'll recast Tormod's Crypt. So the minute next turn, because we can pick the Emery up as well. You have Crab with 24 cards left in our deck. This is gonna be tough. It's gonna be a rough time. Okay, we actually hit the Reservoir off of this. As long as we've got the Emery in play, we can cast it from the graveyard. There's a slight question of how many cards are we gonna need to actually kill them with Reservoir. Oh, all our CMC is so low as well. It's gonna be like basically like the library. No. All right. Well, that is gonna be. I mean, it's not GG, but kind of is. Yeah. Cool. All right. Okay, that's 2 quick losses. Obviously, the second one was looking like would have been. I think we'd have been in a really strong spot, except that we Tacitus his laughter against our deck of 1 mana and 0 mana artifacts, where we need a critical like massive cards to go off is pretty tough. We need to kind of like be able to draw a bunch of cards with outcome. So hey, here we are. We will keep 7. On the draw again. Llanowar Elf. I almost hope this is mono green because they shouldn't have much interaction. Hey. Witching Well, we've got double Beseech. We've got an outcome already. I want land or Ornithopter. Ornithopter we can cash in with Deadly Dispute, so I'll leave that on top. Even though we are kind of looking for a land here. We have another Witching Well. Happy to kind of commit to doing Deadly Dispute things on turn 3. Depends. If we have a land, I guess. Haven. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're not getting Storm the Festival this turn. Let's go ahead. We can. Well, yeah, we drew. Need the Ornithopters on top. Scry here. I think we should scry before. Okay, Moxhammer's not doing anything without a Mana Source. We're committing to... No, I think we have to do... We're going to hold the Only Doctor in hand. We'll play the Pathway on black to make sure we do RH will actually cast Beseech. Fine. They're going to have a little bit of time. There's one, I guess, large issue here, and that is that if they play a Khan the Great Creator, you can't activate artifacts or abilities. You can't activate the ability of artifacts or enchantments. Of artifacts. Which does turn off Aetherflux Marble. This is bad. Oh, I feel a little hard done by here, but also like kind of fair enough. Cash one of the wells in. That is a land. Emery. If we can find the Otawara, we just milled through it. This has been the most unfortunate set of games. We don't have a way to win with Khan in play. And they're about to drop the goal for a sketch, which is going to lock us out. Alright, well, this has been a rough series. Okay. Make that 3 straight losses. I can't help that we've gotten a little bit unlucky. We did just mill the Otawara after I said it was the last card we needed to actually be able to win. And hey, we've seen some of the power of the deck. Like, hey, our game 1 was going our way, just kind of flooded out. I would keep this if this was a blue land. I think we have to mull it. On the play again. Keep. I will Water Shield. Yeah, we'll be able to assemble a number of artifacts basically off of Emery. We kind of passed up on going turn 1 Emery, but I think that's okay. I can live with that. Still want to make the prototype. We will hold the crypt in hand. Okay, turn 2 Thoughtseize. We'll see, there's a lot here going on. You can kind of see the kinds of stuff that we're up to, essentially. The only thing we are on some kind of eggs list. There's some pressure to take Emery, but they might also just have a... Oh well. They're very likely to have clean removal for the Emery. They're thinking about it. They're trying to work out what's going on here. I did another couple of videos. Yeah, I think they have... We'll spell here. Sorry, I think that, given the situation and how this is going, I'm going to keep the Thorn script in it. Okay, we milled through an outcome. That tells them a block. So potentially, we can look to beseech this coming turn. Liana is annoying. Are they going to minus?
A fight? And you think you can win?
Aww. Okay. Put Emery down. We can cast this. Can't work here. Okay. We've not hit Mox Amber here. We've not hit Reservoir. Fine. How many outcomes are here? Just 1, right? Here you're gone. I feel like I'm going to discard Whir and keep Beseech. They know about the Beseech. They could just have another way to... Oh, they could have... I don't think they were going to have it invested through. I'll worry about the poke. Alright, let's try and build some stuff with Emery then. We can get a prototype. Which... The only thing here is that we need to protect the Beseech. means that... Oh, actually, I guess there's a choice. They can tick Leonie up to try and attack our hand, or they can down to get rid of the Emery. The Emery's fine, but getting rid of the Emery like that without taking cards off our hand means that we're going to be able to beseech away. We are then in a questionable situation where we will be able to either beseech for... Okay. Well, I like keeping the beseech then. I guess they do know we have it. Whether we beseech for Reservoir or we beseech for Outcome. Outcome will net us 3 cards, but hey, we drew Reservoir. What does that mean? Jeez. What's that today? Maybe be the only option, but I want to have artifacts that we don't feel bad about bouncing and that will stay in play. I need coal in hand. Oh, my life for a Moxen. Well, Moxen isn't. Okay. You cast this. The thing really is that once we have the Aetherflux Reservoir in play, we have some. Once we have the Reservoir in play, we have some other ability. So you just need to look for an outcome. We could draw at any point. We do only have a couple left in the library. They have obviously a very slow hand and start and stuff. They're not going to kill us anytime soon. I say that they're about to just slam a Shield Red, which would be a disaster actually. Swamp's the only basic, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Some people, eh? Alright.
Drop it.
Okay. The problem is that we can't, like we're still in a we draw the right sequence of cards, you just win the game. That's the problem. Alright. We're still just trying to build a board for outcome. The problem is if we keep the old Hunter in hand, they just get to tick up. So either way, it's not really doing anything. Okay. Alright. Invokes, good for them. They're very close to being able to ultimate the Liliana. I don't need to draw outcome this turn.
You won't be outsmarting me.
Not the what? -6 tiles. It's such a weird game. Oh, this this series of games have been very odd. A little interaction somewhere. I'm trying to think how we could build it. So last time I was playing a bunch of Paradoxical Outcome stuff, it was blue-red, and we were playing the third Path Iconoclast. So we have another kind of win condition where we just make a bunch of tokens. I think it's fine. Beseech unlocks some really nice stuff. Finding the right build. They've ticked up. Oh, they ticked up instead of -6, which feels terrible because it was like, all right, instead of free punish. We just need to draw an outcome, one way or the other. I would take a well. A well would be good too. They're really on at 7. They now have a 2/3 in play. It's hitting us down. Geoldred. Unfortunately, this card is also very good versus Paradoxical Outcome. Because we're going to want to draw 1, 2, 3... We're going to want to draw like 4 cards.
Good.
Just a calamity games have been. I have some obviously takeaways, but I think like we have been a little unfortunate at least. Part of it's just the way the deck is, in that we are not super interactive, and have some key witnesses. I guess we keep the pile with the Aetherflux Reservoir. I always do this wrong. You pick the pile you sacrifice. Now we have no lands in play. We do have a Paradoxical Outcome, which is sick. It was the top card of our deck. If I conceded, I just wouldn't have had to see it. Oh my gosh. Alright, you know what? Let's just go to the post game. Alright. That's enough games. Okay. This has been something of a catastrophe. Partly, like, hey, we're playing a deck that's not very interactive. And like our combo pieces cost 4 mana. That's fair enough, like, kind of on the face of it. Some of the particular matchups worked out not that great for us. Obviously, Mill is horrendous. Tasha said his laughter when I averaged CMC. Well, despite some of these cards costing 4, there's not honestly that many of them, and the large majority of cards in our deck cost 0. In fact, there are 18. Yeah, more than half our deck costs 0 mana, which is tough. But there is some promise here. I like a lot of what's going on. But hey, there's some weaknesses to be going on. Maybe not. Maybe not like breaking the format. There's definitely some stuff going on here. I'm just gonna rejig some things around. Being able to play more tutors, we want to play. I think we want to max out on tutor effects. I think worrying for Cardra, we just want to be able to go get Witching Well, which is fine. That is fair enough. A way to reduce the mana costs here. I think like Inspiring Statue would be good. Alright, 2 seconds. Alright, this is what I think I'd run going forwards. But again, there's still some issues. Not being able to kill 3 Karn the Great Creator is rough, and we have the 1 Otawara in the main deck. If you want to play a second best of 3, there are obviously some great sideboard cards you can play. You can kind of like fix those matchups, maybe have an alternate condition here. One of the upsides of the red-blue version, which, hey, check out the video on my channel, is that you can play Iconoclast and just like make a bunch of 1/1s, which is pretty good. That's kind of like an alternate win condition you could just play in the main if you want as well. But I think this version, like, hey, you may as well max out on the tutors, I think. So 4 were 4 Beseech. Only 2 Reservoir. It did get milled there, that's fine. But having multiple copies, obviously, like, you just have too many 4 mana cards. And you have a bunch of ways to tutor for the Reservoir. Whether that be Emery, like we saw, we could play it on turn 2, or Beseech. And then, like, hey, more copies, like, you have to have the 4 Beseech to 4 Paradoxical Outcome. A little bit careful on casting this. Obviously, we don't have Urborg, which obviously fixes a little bit, but you want to make sure that we're playing Clearwater Pathways on black where we need to be. And hey, there's an Otawara here. Getting Field of Ruin felt bad because we had the one swamp was the land we had left in play. After that, but hey, it is what it is. And yeah, I think there's some promise here. I don't think it's completely lost. Obviously, these games did not go super well. Hope you enjoyed the video. Deck is super fun. If anything else, if you're just looking for something to jam and you have the cards. They're really cool. There is definitely like I think there is like a good version of the Emery Paradoxical Outcome deck. It's still kind of like floating around, just working out exactly what that is. And so if you've got any ideas as well, things to try, do let me know in the comments as well. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please do like, share it around, subscribe, all that good stuff. Help support me, etc. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out.